What a pretty picture. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Really good to see you all. I've been AWOL, at least last week, because I had a good reason. Several of us headed down to San Diego to a conference on wellness and youthful aging. So if you have any questions about youthful aging, just see me. We got a late start, and there's some tension in the car. And so I suggested a prayer of protection, which we did. And it certainly helped because everything was smooth sailing. But I have to remind you, we were a little bit tense. And when we got to Bakersfield, it was already several hours, maybe 2, 3 past noon, and hot. We needed fuel, so we turned on Main Street, none of us knowing Bakersfield at all, looking for cheap gas, and then someplace to get some fast food. Well, we found an Arco station that had an amazing price, and so we wheeled in along with probably 50 or 60 other people in line, stretching out into the street. And that was quite all right because there were banks and banks and banks of pumps. And as we took our place in line, we noticed, though, that about half of them were out of service. And so we sat there in the heat, and I looked around, and we were very much in the minority. And you could almost cut the frustration with a knife. People were getting very, very upset because things were moving slowly. Well, finally we were second in line, and the lady in front of us finished. She was an older, white-haired, dark lady, beautiful, but a very austere appearing, and we waited for her to get her in the car so that we could take her place and get our gas and get out of there. But instead of climbing in her car, she came toward us, and I thought, uh-oh, what did we do wrong? But as she came up, she said, there's still $1 and some cents in the pump. Enjoy. Wasn't that lovely? And we did. And right next door was a drive-through Chinese restaurant. We didn't drive, I know. We didn't drive through. However, it was a wonderful respite. It was cool. The people waiting on us were just darling. The food was excellent, and we were back on the road all the way through LA Basin and traffic and to our destination with no hitch whatsoever. And then back home again the same way. We had nothing but good luck and protection. This being August and the last Sunday in the month, talking about vibration and E being expansion, I'd like to speak to that a bit. Just recently, a dear friend of mine, when I was in a kind of a whiny, carrying on mode, said, why don't you just switch that over to joy? And I thought, yeah, good idea. Change of perception, simply making a different choice, and it feels so much better. It's so easy. And I'd like to have you do something with me, if you will. If you would stretch out your hand and close your eyes, I'd like you to think for a moment if there's anything that you have left undone, maybe a vision that you've had, a goal you've had, a bucket list item, and you haven't achieved it yet. But just for the moment, with your open hand, if you would feel what it would be to have that goal achieved right now, this moment. And let that feeling just flow through your body. Let the sensation fill you with the knowing of who you truly are, that you are loved and you are love. You are whole. You are complete. And now I'd like you to close your hand into a fist and squeeze it tightly. How does that feel? Is this the way we're going through our day-to-day experiences? Clenched tightly, worried, concerned, despondent even, hopeless, feeling lack? Is this how we're spending this beautiful life of ours? Well, I'd like to give you a challenge for this week. I'd like you to open, expand, if you will, to the joy of each moment, because that's all we have. And let that feeling of joy flow through you out into the world, because it makes a difference, doesn't it? We are made in the image of God. We are co-creators of this life story. We're the writers of the script, as Angie has told us many times before. We're the creator of the props. We choose what part we want to play. This week, let's go forward in joy and expanding in love. And let our lives be filled with joy.